video, I'm gonna be doing how to make chocolate chip cookies. So one key ingredient to making chocolate chip cookies is you have to have your ingredients. So let's start off. First ingredient, we have light brown sugar. We have 2 eggs, butter. It can either be salted or unsalted or salted, depends how you want it. We have sugar, sea salt, flour, vanilla extract, chocolate chips, and baking soda. So now let's get with the first step. So the first step was to preheat the oven to 350, but before we do that, let's throw in the butter for 30 seconds, and then we're gonna mix in the sugars, and I'll be back when we mix in the sugars. Okay, now that our butter is out and our oven is preheating at 350, we can add in the sugars. So you have to add the sugars in with the butter, but we're gonna open the sugars first, and then we're gonna add it at the same time. So they're asking for about 1 cup of light brown sugar, which I think is a lot, but then we're gonna add it. Okay, so pour it in the 1 cup. So here is our 1 cup of brown sugar. And we're gonna add the butter with it, and then we're also gonna add the other sugar, which is asking us for. Never mind. It was one. What I do is I do the reverse. So I do 1 cup of brown sugar because I like brown sugar more than regular sugar. So then I reverse it. So we're gonna do 2 of regular. We're gonna do is we're gonna use our measuring spoon to level it out. So we get exactly 1/2 cup of sugar. Okay, so there is our 1/2 cup of sugar, and now we'll be back when we add the vanilla and start mixing. So now we're gonna add in our 1 cup of this. Make sure. The 1 cup. Perfect. And now we're gonna mix, I think. So yeah, mix in the sugars in this. We're gonna mix it in. And now we're gonna add we're gonna add the vanilla and the eggs. So for the eggs, we're gonna do 2 eggs. So the first egg, and then the second egg. And then before we add the eggs, we're going to add the vanilla, and it's asking for 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So we're gonna do this of vanilla. I'm gonna use this weird bottle that I have never used in my life. So the oven is preheated, ready, but we can't put the cookies in yet because it's not ready. So that's why they asked you to put the oven, preheat the oven first. So the oven should be preheated while you're like halfway done doing your recipe. So we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Vanilla always smells good, so close that. And we're gonna mix, and then we're gonna add the it says add your flour. So we're gonna add our 1.5 cup of flour. Where's your 1 cup? Then add the flour. 1.5 cup of flour. So there's 1 cup of flour, and then we don't have half, so we're gonna do 2 1/4 to make it half. There's 1 and 1. Okay, so now we add our flour. We're also gonna add our baking soda with it. So for baking soda, I want you to follow our recipe. It says we need also 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So we need to get this again, and our baking soda. Put it in there, and then we're gonna use the lid, scoop it out. Then baking soda is done, and then we're also gonna add in our salt. So salt, it says to do half a teaspoon of salt. So we're gonna get another half, but we don't have enough salt, so we're gonna get salt. Never mind, there is salt in the bowl, so we're gonna add the salt, which is about half a teaspoon of salt. And now we're gonna mix our thing, and if it's too wet, we have to add more flour. So I don't think it is gonna be wet. So we're just gonna mix. It's like dough, and you're supposed to roll the dough out, and then this is actually like dough that you're able to like form with your hands. So this is what I'm gonna put you guys down a little bit. This is what the bowl's looking like. We're just gonna mix in the flour and all that stuff, and then we're gonna add the chocolate chips to it. When this is all mixed up. Okay, so perfect. Now we're gonna add in the chocolate chips, and obviously you can add in as much as you want. There's not a certain amount. So my family, we love chocolate chips in our cookies. So I tend to add. So the here it says to add 3 cups, but I tend to add, where's your thing? About what the recipe says. But it also depends what chocolate chips you use and how much batter you have. So I'm gonna put that enough, and then we're gonna mix. And then I'll be back when we get the cookie sheet and start laying them out. Okay, so I finished mixing our batter and chocolate chips. And before I put the cookies, I always put the all-purpose baking spray, and I just spray it over it so the cookies don't stick to the pan. And then spatula, scrape off the edges and put it to one side, and then I get an ice cream scooper and I grab it and I just put it on the cookie sheet so it's easier to bake. Takes a couple clicks, and then the problem is these are ginormous cookies, so they're meant to be big. And I think we should have enough batter for about 8 cookies, I believe. It said 18 large cookies, but I'm doing them thick. So we're gonna have like about maybe 10 cookies. After I'm done with this, I rearrange them on the cookie sheet. So we get the spatula on the side, and then I'm gonna get and then we're gonna again doing the process all over again. That was gonna be a big cookie. This is the last one. So then it didn't look the best, but we made about 9 big stuffed cookies, and then I'm gonna put it in the microwave for about 10 minutes. And I'll be back because the extra batter has to be eaten, even though you're not supposed to eat it. It's good, so I eat it, and I'll be back when the cookies are done. Okay, so I grabbed the milk. I actually like Chobani oat milk instead of regular milk. So it's like very delicate though. Like, look, it broke. So we're gonna try it. So like it tastes like soft, like creamy, salty, but it's really good. So that is all for today.